first. Who would like to commence with their honorable mentions?
I can go.
Kyle,
All right.
since you're the new person here, Kyle, I say you should go.
Yes.
All right. Well, honorable mentions. I gotta throw it on with the continuing of a franchise that I've loved my whole life. Saw 10 is coming out,
Saw 10.
and no plot listed at all, but I'm ready for it.
There's probably going to be no plot to the movie in the first place, so.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think it's
Alright.
coming out in October. Keeping up with the tradition, I love it. So
Is Tobin Bell back again?
he better be. That would be the only reason I would boycott them, is if Tobin Bell wasn't back. But then I also got another franchise that I deeply love, Legally Blonde 3.
Legally
It
Blonde
was
3.
supposed to come out last year. I don't really know if it's gonna be good, but I actually love the first Legally Blonde.
Okay.
Oh, it's a classic.
Blonde,
Yeah.
But I actually like first one's. Yeah, it is a classic. I love that movie. So the
Very
third
nice,
one.
very nice.
Got another sequel here, The Meg 2.
Okay.
Awesome.
Who invited this
You
guy?
guys aren't hyped for Dude, you guys aren't hyped for it? Come on. And then just my last honorable mention. Yeah, as you can tell, all my honorable mentions are a joke, kind of. But my final one. I just discovered it today. Bezos: The Beginning.
Oh no.
It is
Bezos?
a Jeffrey Bezos biopic coming out, produced by Spanglish Studios.
What?
And ladies and gentlemen, it has one of the great actors of our time,
Oh, I just saw who it was.
Kevin Sorbo, in it.
Oh my goodness.
Is he
And
playing
if you
Jeff
look up-
Bezos?
No, he's
Aw,
playing.
shame.
Jeff Bezos is played by, I think it's forget who it was,
David A.R. White?
but I'm pretty sure Kevin Sorbo is playing some CEO or president of Barnes and Noble, which
Oh,
is
nice.
the book selling company online that Amazon was competing with that time. But if you look up this trailer, it is just God's Not Dead type.
Yes. That's all I want.
It's quite spectacular. So
Oh my
there are my
God.
honorable mentions for the year.
Wow. Wonderful.
I'm surprised
Kevin
Left
Sorbo, man.
I'm surprised Left Behind Rise of the Anti
Oh, it's going to be so good.
I thought about it, but you gotta give the respect to the Bezos, like that's what we need. But seriously, go watch that trailer. It's quite hilarious.
I will, right after this. All right. Noah, you got any honorable mentions?
I have two honorable mentions. First of which was on my top 10 anticipated last year. Did not come out. Still a question if it's going to come out this year, so that's why I kind of slated it as an honorable mention. But it is The End by Joshua Oppenheimer.
Right.
Joshua Oppenheimer is a very well covered documentarian, responsible for some amazing documentaries. In particular, The Act of Killing and its follow-up, The Look of Silence, both massive successes in the festival scene, and critically, some of the best documentaries of the 2010s, ones that will be talked about for decades to come. And The End is slated to be his first narrative feature, a post-apocalyptic film about a rich family living in a salt mine that was at one point slated to be a musical as well, but it is about the last family on Earth living in a salt mine as the world crumbles around them. And it stars Tilda Swinton and George McKay, along with Stephen Graham from The Irishman and Rocketman. I'm very excited for this movie. I was hoping it was going to get a release at the festival scene last year. It did not. So I'm hoping it gets picked up at some point this year and they can get it done.
Yeah.
It officially has a poster, which is the first step.
Sounds
Totally.
awesome.
That seems awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Very, very excited to see if that one actually comes out. My second honorable mention, I'm assuming it's going to be on all of our lists, but it's Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan. I won't go too deep into it because I'm sure you guys have it. But I'm very excited for Christopher Nolan to be tackling the Second World War again. Dunkirk being my favorite of his films. I can't wait for this one, especially to see how the practical effects look pertaining to the nuclear bomb. Which
Yeah,
I'm
I heard they
excited
dropped an
about,
actual
so-
nuke, so.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
That-
yeah!
There was controversy all over that statement there. It's an honorable mention, and Dunkirk is your favorite Nolan film? Oh, I'm gonna pick your brain after this, buddy.
Todd
Good,
Penn
yeah.
and Oppenheimer on the same honorable mentions. Like
Wow.
Oppenheimer was barely kicked off, but yeah, I'm very excited for Oppenheimer.
Very nice, very nice. Any other honorable mentions?
That's it for me.
All right. Do you have any, Spencer?
I do. I got three. I'll keep it short. I'll get it out of the way. We were making fun of Ant-Man earlier, but I am excited to see Ant-Man for one sole reason, I would say, and it's this guy named Jonathan Majors, who
Yep,
I
that's
said
the
it.
only
I think I
reason.
said it last year to you guys too, but I think this guy is going to be one of the biggest movie stars on the planet one day, if not after this year. And even back when he was on, was it Lovecraft County or Lovecraft Country or something? He was kind of starting to come up on my radar, and they were talking about how he is like a modern day Marlon Brando. It's just in a new body, and that's some pretty high praise. But everything that I've
is.
seen from this guy, he's everything that you'd want in like a leading man, and he has all the potential to create a classic villain. So I don't know. I'm gonna be in the seat for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
My
can see
other
it.
two.
Devotion, was huge, so,
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was huge with Joe Jonas.
All right. Next one.
Another honorable mention. I didn't want to put on the list because like there's a good chance that it could be bad for some obvious reasons. But I am excited to see the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I didn't have the heart to put it on my list, but it's gonna get an honorable mention because I think there's a lot of people in that movie other than like Chris Pratt that could really turn in a good performance. Most notably, I think being Jack Black as Bowser, and
yeah.
Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I agree.
And then
Very
finally,
exciting.
I don't know how none of you guys said this, even though we brought it up, but another honorable mention is God's Not Dead: Rise Up, which is
Oh.
slated to come out in 2023.
Yes.
really,
It was
Finally.
announced. Yes, it was announced on September 13th, 2022. I did my research this morning, so
Well, that's good to know.
yes, the fifth installment. Producer and actor David A.R. White will be returning to the franchise,
Oh my god!
Let's go.
but not much is known about it either. Dean Cain, Isaiah Washington, and Corey Oliver will be in it apparently.
All right.
So we're gonna be in for a good time.
Lovely. That is pretty hype. Man, I wrote down like just a blurb of like 30 movies and then narrowed it down to 10, so I just have like 20 here that I am excited for, but the ones I almost put on my list was Rogue Squadron because I don't think it's going to come out this year, but they're saying it might, but I don't think it will. Which, yeah, is what's her face who did Wonder Woman
Patty
directing
Jenkins?
Patty Jenkins Star Wars movie. So, if there's a Star Wars movie, it'll likely creep onto the list a bit. Also, John Wick 4. I'm hesitant because I didn't think 3 was as strong as the other two, but hey, I'm sure we're all gonna go watch it.
Mhm.
And then if there's one other that I had to put on an honorable mention, man, there's too many to choose from here. I think I would say, How Do You Live is pretty hype.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just looking it up here. So yeah, How Do You Live? Miyazaki. Could be good.
Yeah, that one was on
um,
my short list. I am excited for that. It looks like it's in the same style as the Red Turtle, kind of watercolor animation. At least from
Yeah,
the poster.
exactly. I mean,
Very-
I don't know
that
if
could be
this
really
is the
good.
official poster that's on Letterboxd, but we shall
If
see.
it is,
If it is watercolor, that would be crazy. That'd be awesome. But yeah, probably those are my honorable mentions. All right, so I'll just start with my number 10, which it's a franchise. How many franchises do I have here? I have, you know what? I only have like 3 franchises on my list. That's a win, I think. So my number 10 is Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. I
Big one.
really, really did love Mission Impossible Fallout. I think it might be my favorite Mission Impossible. So
Mine.
yeah, I'm just excited to see Tom Cruise step it up. I think that he's gonna be the first actor / filmmaker to like do a movie in space one day. It's gonna happen. But yeah, Dead Reckoning Part 1. It's just gonna be a spectacle. Love watching them. It's great. So yeah, that's my number
Agreed.
10. Who would like to go next for their number 10?
I'll
I
throw
can
my
go.
hat into the
Oh.
ring.
All right,
Oh.
all right.
I'll throw my head in there. My number 10 for the year. I was really like going one or the other between Oppenheimer and this for my number 10 spot, but it is the follow-up to Corey Finley's last film, Bad Education, and prior to that, Thoroughbreds, a fantastic indie director who always gets a good cast behind him. It is his first take on a sci-fi film. It is called Landscape with Invisible Hand. It stars Tiffany Haddish, Clifton Collins Jr., and Michael Gandolfini, and it features a teenage artist coming to terms with his artistic brilliance during the aftermath of an alien takeover, where the aliens present newfound technology to the human population, which can only be achieved by being of an elite status. And it follows young artists and young entrepreneurs, bottom end of society, attempting to make their way in the world. I think this looks awesome. There's not a lot known about it just yet, but I am a fan of Corey Finley's film Thoroughbreds. I think that was an absolutely fantastic film. I want to revisit it, and as well, I haven't seen Bad Education. I've heard it's fantastic.
It is great.
I've also not seen the show We Crashed that he co-directed about the WeWork incident with Jared Leto and Anne Hathaway. But from what I've known about his actual filmography, I'm sure this will be really cool. I love the concept, and I think it could be a hidden gem of the year. So definitely Landscape with Invisible Hand.
It was on my short list as well.
Mm,
All
a
right.
very cool movie.
Good choice. Good choice.
cast,
Who would
too.
like to follow up?
All right, I can go.
All
in
right.
there.
You hit it, 50.
So my number 10, you guys might laugh at this, but I actually am excited for this for nostalgic purposes. There is an Expendables 4 movie coming out.
Yes, that's great.
Purely because, the Expendables movies, I've only rewatched the second one recently, but
Banger.
those are like, the first two were like the first rated R movies I watched as a kid. Like I remember watching those when I was like 10, 11 in car rides and stuff, and absolutely love them. So I can't believe they're making another one. I think it's going to be absolutely wild to just see Sylvester Stallone again coming in as I think the character's name is Barney Ross, a weird arms dealer. And the plot of the film that they have is just so Expendables. It's just a nuclear war between U.S. and Russia.
Yes.
Oh.
And
There you go.
It's just very, they're sticking to the cheesiness and the fun of the first three, and yeah, I'm just kind of excited. I think it's gonna be. I hope it's a lot of fun, and I always like seeing it's just fun in these Expendables movies. See all these old action actors.
Oh yeah.
Just,
Apparently Megan Fox is in this one.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, Megan Fox is in it as well. 50 Cent.
Former UFC heavyweight champion Randy Couture is there, despite being
Whoa.
almost 60 years of age.
See, that's what you gotta love. Like
60 years is the prerequisite.
Yeah.
So.
And you got
yeah,
50 Cent.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. Not an Expendables movie without 50 Cent anymore. Come on. But,
I think an
fun action
underrated
movie I'm excited for.
I think an underrated actor in here is Iko Uwais from the Raid films and The Night Comes for Us. He's
there you
a
That's a great movie.
terrific stuntman and a great hand-to-hand combat actor. So that could be really cool. I'd like to see some real nitty-gritty fight scenes with him in there. That could be really cool.
Yeah. Now the only thing is, like, the guy who directed it is the same guy who did Need for Speed
Yes.
and Tony Pollard. you know, not expecting, you know, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll go see it.
All right. I dig it. I dig
Number
it.
10.
All right, Spencer, number 10.
My number 10, and it's kind of funny because this movie wasn't even really on my radar until like a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and then the trailer came out. But my number 10 is actually going to be Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good pick. Good
I,
pick.
I don't know. There's something about I don't like when people make horror remakes because the original is always going to be better. But Evil Dead the remake was one of those ones where like I could appreciate it as something similar to the original, but it was also entirely its own thing. I really appreciated the differences from the original and all the updates to the creature design and just how scary it actually was. I'd stand by it for myself that it's probably maybe a top two scariest movie I've ever seen. You know, I can't remember who directed that movie actually, but I don't know. There was a good focus on keeping like the action and the creature design kind of in camera and not just like cutting around and making the CGI all rubbery and stuff. And it added this really scary element to it that just messed with me as like a teenager, you know. So I don't know. I'm on board for this next one. The trailer had a very similar style to Evil Dead 2013, and if it's half as good as that one, like I'll be satisfied. They just got to keep the practical effects and kind of like the style of the horror for me, and I know I'll enjoy it.
All right.
It's the same premise as the last one too, pretty much. Like this family, they find the flesh book in their house, and they tell them not to open it, but the mother opens it, and she gets possessed, and all those goodies. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just if it's highly stylized and they rely on what they did on the last one, I'm going to be satisfied as a horror fan.
I'm a big fan of the 2013 one. I stand by it every chance I get. I think it's fantastic. And Fede Alvarez is not returning to direct this one, but I still think it could be great just because they've got Raimi and Campbell as the producers
Yeah.
behind it. So I think it could be great.
Yeah.
I
I'm
gotta
very
come up
excited.
with
I still have to watch the first Evil Dead. I've never seen it.
You do.
Oh.
It will scar you.
Wait, like
All
you
right.
Gotta watch this.
All right, so my number 9 is maybe not. This is probably the one most at risk of not coming out this year, but it's the untitled Safdie Bros Adam Sandler project. Even without knowing anything, gotta throw it on the list. Love Good Time, love Uncut Gems even more, and so yeah, that's all I really need to know to be on the list. So yeah.
Uncut Jam.
Yes.
Yep, untitled Safdie Bros. All right, and then it was Noah. You can go next.
Oh, yes. All right, so yeah, my next pick is one from the Sundance selections from this upcoming year. It is a first-time director or first-time feature director, a woman by the name of Raven Jackson, and her film All Dirt Roads: Taste of Salt. I first heard about this movie because one of the main producers behind it is Barry Jenkins, and Barry Jenkins hasn't had a directorial feature out in some time, and I don't believe he has anything coming out until I believe the Mufasa film in 2024. So in the meantime, he is propping up some fantastic young creators, and in particular, one that I'm excited for is All Dirt Roads Taste of Salt. It stars Charlene McClure, who is a brand new actress on the scene, as well as Sheila Atim, was in The Woman King, as well as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. She is taking her talents to the independent scene in a film depicting poverty in Mississippi and family trauma through generations in Mississippi. Seems like a real good project that speaks to what Barry Jenkins has been promoting in his films, and one that I'm very, very excited for to see what the buzz is at a Sundance. Can't wait for that one.
All right, good choice. I did not know about it at all. But hey, that's what you're here for, Noah.
For those ones.
Exactly. All right, Kyle.
I don't think I have many. I don't think I have many of those. So we'll see.
That's
Really?
okay.
I don't think I have many of them.
Well,
We'll see. I maybe a few. Maybe a few at the start of my list, but we'll see.
Alrighty.
well, my number 9 is I felt hesitant putting it on here because there's a large chance it could turn out to be a big letdown, but I'm putting the Wonka movie that's coming out because I just think I don't know. I think I love the original so much, and I think the character of Willy Wonka really opens it up for like you can be really creative with this. Like even though I don't love the Johnny Depp one, there's certain elements that I like to it. Like Noah, we always make fun of like the backstory to him that his father was
The dentist. The dentist.
who disowned him. Like I think that's so funny and creative. Like, and I think an origin story of Willy Wonka. I think I don't know. It could open up to having a lot of fun. I'm also hoping
Only
they make
Tim
it
Burton.
dark because like the original is just so dark. People forget, and like it's very screwed up, and I love it, and I'm hoping they do right by it because it'll be good. And I also want a little bit of a Chalamet redemption tour because I haven't.
What
seen
does he need
much
to
of him
redeem
that
himself
I've
for?
enjoyed. Just, I don't know. I haven't seen anything with him that I'm really like. I saw A Beautiful Boy. I wasn't a big fan of
Yeah.
that.
Go watch Bones and All.
Ooh.
I haven't seen Bones Ball yet.
I watched it on
Definitely seen
Saturday.
Yeah, it's
a bit of a banger.
he's very like roll your eyes Timothy Chalamet cliche, but it works.
All right.
Does work.
Well, yeah. Him as Wonka, I'm hoping it works out as a young one. Also,
Yeah.
the cast is pretty good. They got Rowan Atkinson in there, which I think is awesome.
Ooh.
That'll be a lot of fun. And then Olivia Colman's in it too. So,
Ooh.
Alrighty.
I'm,
He allegedly has like 11 musical numbers in the film too.
11?
oh, okay.
Jeez.
And
Oh
it's
my
taken off
God.
the list.
I think
So-
it could be redeemed by Paul King being the director. The man behind the Paddington films. So-
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's
Paddington's
the
great.
other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm not
Paddington's
gonna-
great. So I'm hoping like yeah, he'll have a lot of fun with it, but I also I want it to be like kind of dark too. And it'll be a lot different from the Tim Burton vision, but yeah, I still think there's potential, and I'm putting it on the list for potential because
Lollipops.
Hey, the original was scarring as a kid, so
it definitely is. And yeah,
The tunnel scene.
oof.
oh, it's horrifying. These little slave Oompa Loompas. I hope they go in. I hope they go into how much he paid the Oompa Loompas when he met them, and
The financials.
They get paid in
Yeah.
chocolate, bro.
yeah,
There's
so,
also the there's the backstory in the first one, or in the Tim Burton one, where he was exploring a jungle and he just found them.
Yeah.
Did he capture these indigenous people? Did
No,
he
no, no.
just
He brought them a cocoa bean. He brought them a cocoa
Oh.
bean. He's like, if you come with me, you can have as many as you want. And then they had to eat the
Oh.
bug. Remember? They mashed the bug.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, the bug!
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
They mashed up the bug.
You-
He's making fun of these indigenous people's food.
All right,
so
all
it's
right.
redeemed now.
Enough
This
Wonka
random
talk.
white- This white chocolateer,
No more
the
Wonka.
son of a dentist.
All right, Spencer, what's your number 9?
This is actually the perfect segue into my number 9, if I'm being honest. Because my number 9, and I might catch some strays for this, but my number 9 is Dune Part 2.
Why would you catch strays for this?
No
Because of how
strays for
low
me.
it is?
No strays for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's any Dune purists in the chat, but the discourse around Dune 1 has been a bit sickening for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Sickening.
Yes, because every news outlet that I saw before this movie was saying that this movie was this generation's Lord of the Rings. And when I saw this movie, I the first thing I thought was, damn, that is the most disrespectful thing I've seen to Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. Like, what are we doing here? Okay, and I'm Denis Villeneuve is my favorite director. Okay, I think I had it on my list last year too. But I don't know. There's something that's missing in the world building for me. I understand that it's a big story and they need to take the 3 to 5 movies to draw it out, but it felt like a whole lot of setup for the second movie that's supposed to promise everything that the
Well,
first movie was supposed to be, right? But
can I
I don't know
jump
if it
in
can live
quick?
up to that hype. Yeah, jump in.
So I think that's more the fault of Warner Brothers because they didn't. Because when Lord of the Rings happened, like the studio agreed to film all three. They were going to take this risk and film all 3 movies at the same time, put all their money, put all their resources towards that. Warner Brothers didn't do that. They wanted to wait and see if the first one did well at the box office. And because the story of Dune is so long, like and convoluted, like all the first film could have been was set up because he didn't know if he was getting his second one, I think. So I think that was more on Warner Brothers, to be honest. That's just me.
I guess. Well, I agree with you.
Because they didn't promise him a second one until it made money.
Yeah, but like, in my opinion, you're Denis Villeneuve. You just made Blade Runner 2049. Like, you got to walk in there with your nuts hanging out. You know, like you gotta walk in there knowing that you're getting the whole trilogy. But I do see what you're saying. But listen, like, I don't want to hate on Denis because he is my favorite director.
But then again, Blade Runner bombed. So like you never know.
Yeah, it
did.
only made its money back on home video sales.
And Blade
Yeah,
Runner was the better
exactly.
movie.
So.
So-
Yeah. Well, I disagree, but
I wouldn't disagree. I love Blade Runner 2049.
I mean, if we want to get into controversial takes here too, I would say that Blade Runner 2049
Okay.
might be better in some ways than the original. But
Oh,
that's
I
a
don't think that's
conversation
that
for another day.
controversial. Yeah.
that's not.
I know you don't, Josh, because we've had this talk. Anyway.
I love them
Um,
both equally.
In summary, to like close out what I was going to say about the movie, I love Timmy. I love Zendaya. I love Javier Bardem, Rebecca Ferguson. I love Denis. I love the additions that they made to the cast with Austin Butler, and Florence Pugh. So everything is looking good for it to be a great film. But I feel like I don't agree with all the hype coming off of the first one. There's still some things that I need to see, but I'm very encouraged. So that's why it's at number 9 versus where I think some other people would put it at like 4.
We may open that box a bit later. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My number 8 is probably the most, like, the smallest film on my list. And it's a movie called Spaceman. I have 2 back-to-back Adam Sandler films, actually.
Ooh.
So, Spaceman is a movie by Johan Rennick, and he did the Chernobyl series, which I have not seen, but I have heard mainly from Noah that is very good. But
It is, and it's interesting that Sandler's doing a project with him, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, exactly. The Sandler sauce is among us, and yeah, I'm here for it. Here's the logline. Jacob, an astronaut sent to the edge of the galaxy to collect mysterious ancient dust, finds his earthly life falling into pieces, so he turns to the only voice who can help him to try to put it back together. It just so happens it belongs to a creature from the beginning of time lurking in the shadows of his spaceship. So yeah, sci-fi, Adam Sandler, some weird, fantastical, surrealist element to it. Sounds lovely. And from the
I'm
director of
sold.
Chernobyl, which I should watch, but hey, acclaimed enough for me. It has all the recipes to be a movie that I like, so yeah, very excited for it. I will, I'll be seeing that when it comes out. Did any of you guys hear of that or
Who
see
knows?
that when
No.
you're doing your research?
I didn't
No.
know about this.
Was not on my short list.
It sounds great though.
Yeah.
Does.
It does. Love the Sandman.
Perfect. I got one that you
Love that
guys
he's trying new
didn't,
things.
All right, perfect. Yeah, that's my number 8. All right, Noah, you're up.
Okay, so for my next pick will be, you know me. I like a good historical epic. I love a good history piece that only 5 people in the world will see. And this next one is called Firebrand. It's not much is known about it so far. It will be directed by Karim Enouz, who made a few films throughout the 21st century, in particular Invisible Life, which got some notoriety. It's a Brazilian film starring Carol Duarte and Julia Stockler. I've heard great things about that one, as well as from 2002, Madame Sata, which I've also heard is fantastic. Another Brazilian film about music culture and street culture in Brazil. And this one, Firebrand, seems to be his first film of recent memory, at least, being filmed in the US and the UK. And Firebrand will follow the marriage of Henry VIII and Catherine Parr. Now, as you might be laughing at, Noah, why are you looking at a film about Henry VIII? Well,
I'm just yawning.
Catherine Parr is a figure in the life of Henry VIII that isn't really talked about as much. Catherine Parr was the final wife of Henry VIII. He died shortly after their marriage, and she actually carried on as the Queen of England for a very short amount of time, and was relatively influential as queen for the short amount of time that she lived after his death. It stars Alicia Vikander as Catherine Parr and Jude Law as Henry VIII. I think that is great casting for these two historical figures, and I think as a historical epic, historical drama, I think this could be really great. And being helmed by somebody with a great eye for cinema, I think this could be really, really interesting and could turn a few heads when it comes out. Definitely look out for this one. Very excited to see Vikander and Law side by side in this one.
All right. Yeah, can't say I've heard of it. But hey, that's what you're here for. Yet again, Noah. No, sounds great though. Sounds good. All right.
I want to see Jude Law as Henry VIII. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
I'm here for
it's
it.
not, it seems like
Jude Law
it seems like a perfect role. It sounds like a perfect role for him. It seems like something he could get nominated for an Academy Award for, personally.
I could see it. I mean, his perfect role was Dumbledore in Fantastic Beasts, but, you know, second to that. All right.
Hey, you haven't heard my best of the year list.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that at some point. All right, Kyle, number 8.
All right, my number 8. A lot of horror remakes coming out. This one, some might disagree with me, but I'm excited for. There's an Exorcist remake coming out. Apparently, it's going to continue from the original one. It's directed by David Gordon Green, who did the Halloween trilogy recently. And I just think, I don't know, I think we're due for an Exorcist movie because, David Gordon Green made the Halloween. I've only seen the first 2. I haven't seen the third one yet. But, they're a lot of fun. And I don't know, I'm hoping this could be like kind of a Conjuring type movie / Haunting in Connecticut. Just be, have fun with what they have, not take themselves too seriously. And yeah, I just think an Exorcist remake is, something to be excited for. It's got Leslie Odom Jr. in it as well, and Ellen Bernstein, both who I like a lot. So, yeah.
I'm definitely intrigued by the Exorcist remake. I like David Gordon Green as a director. I think I really enjoyed the first of his Halloween films. Second one was pretty mid. Wasn't a big fan of the last one. Was not a big fan of the last one. I don't think it worked out very well in the end. I'm glad Halloween did end in Halloween Ends.
Or so you thought.
So we thought. I am excited for a new Exorcist film. I'm a big fan of
I just also
the
think
Exorcist films.
it'll be a fun movie to see in theaters.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I also
Alrighty.
love the original so much, so it'll.
Leslie Odom Jr. is awesome.
He is great.
Yeah.
He's great. All right, Spencer, 8.
Number 8. I mean, now that I'm reading this, it's going to look really funny when you have all them out side by side. But number 8 is Indiana Jones 5.
Yeah,
I had to put it on there. You guys would have
I
called me a
agree.
fraud if I didn't put it on there because
I
I've
agree.
said it for years now. I will watch Harrison Ford play Indiana Jones until he is like 101. I will watch him run around as Indiana Jones as an old man. He can have
Okay.
back problems. He can run at a snail's pace. I don't care. Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones, and I'm ready for another adventure. It can't be worse than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
It can't be. No way.
Yeah,
So.
it can be, but we'll see.
And there's even some great memes in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Get that grease up.
It did have some charm to it. I'll give it that.
Big damn ants.
Yep.
But hey, we're all gonna go see this no matter what. So that's justified on your list. Yeah.
Open
It's kind of
100%.
self-explanatory, But yeah, that's number 8.
Very understandable. Very understandable. All right. My number 7 it was on my list last year, did not come out. It is the Wes Anderson Asteroid City. Yeah, we talked about it last year. I think it was on your list too, Spencer. Last year.
Yeah, it might have been. No spoilers, but it might pop up somewhere
Might
later.
appear a bit later. Understood. But hey, what else can we say? It's Wes Anderson. It has an insane cast, so there's that.
like usual.
It's like at a space cadet convention, and I can just see like the Rushmore-esque school giddiness to it, if you know what I mean. But yeah,
Sure.
and then I'm sure it's in the logline here. It says the Space Cadet Convention is spectacularly disrupted by world-changing events. So something's gonna go down. It's Wes Anderson. Pretty exciting. I'm here for it. So yeah, good old Wes. All right.
Good cast. It's got the usual suspects and then some new ones in there.
Yeah, usual suspects.
You can't go wrong with
plus-
some Wes.
And
You can't.
Margot
All
Robbie,
right.
Tom Hanks.
Noah, number 7.
My number 7 is a returnee from my list last year. Despite the title being different,
Yes.
formerly known as Disappointments Boulevard, is
Mm.
Beau is Afraid by Ari Aster. And when it is described as a zonky nightmare comedy on Letterboxd, I am
Zonky.
very excited for that. Love to see a Joaquin Phoenix performance. Won't want to miss anything he's in. Also like the addition of Michael Gandolfini, second on my list for him, and Nathan Lane. That's pretty cool. I like to see that. Anything that Ari Aster does, I'm always intrigued, especially after his first 2 feature-length films, Hereditary and Midsommar, being 2 of my favorite horror films of the 21st century and all time for me. I can't get enough of his work, so I'm hopeful that it finally gets its release this year, and I will definitely be going to see it no matter what. Can't wait for this one.
Yeah, I'm very excited as well.
Well said. I agree.
Patti LuPone's in it. Broadway legend Patti LuPone
I'm
is going
so
to be in an Ari Aster film. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Kyle, number 7.
Number 7. Wait, where'd my list go? Number 7 for me is another remake of a horror film. The Last Train to Busan remake, The Last Train to New York. It's directed by the same guy who did VHS 2. So, yeah, I don't know. Zombies on a train. Excited for remake of that. I think, yeah, didn't put much thought into it. I just, I'm excited for it.
Have you seen Train to Busan?
I have, but I want to watch it again.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
great.
really
I love it.
remember much of it. Oh yeah, I remember loving it. But
Hey, James Wan producing this as well.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
yeah, exactly. And I think it was supposed to come out last year, or it was supposed to come out in April this year, and they pushed it back because there's some other horror movie coming out at the same time. Can't remember which one, but yeah, I think this one's got a lot of potential. I just realized how many remakes I have on here, but
Yeah,
I think
yours
horror
just
remakes are kind
Horror
of
remakes,
making
yeah.
I guess so.
Making a
yeah.
comeback.
Yeah,
Okay.
horror remakes are kind of. I think they were very horrible in late 2000s, 2010. Even now sometimes we have the Grudge one that came out that was horrible.
Oh, that was terrible.
It's the Nightmare on Elm Street one that's so bad. but there's, like we got the Evil Dead, we got the Evil Dead Rise coming out. Halloween movie was the first one, at least, was fun. So, yeah, hoping this one's good. And I do love, thanks to Noah, I love VHS too. So I'm hoping. I
Yeah,
hate to
I didn't know
admit
that
it,
was
so,
coming out.
yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Good choice. Good
That's a good pick.
choice.
That one
Alright.
wasn't even really on my radar.
Yeah, I had no clue about that at all.
Last Training. It's been delayed like 3 times. So
Ah, yes.
Hopefully that means they're doing the source material justice.
yeah, I hope so. 'Cause, yeah, or it'll be an old boy situation.
Yeah.
Ooh, that
Watching
one's
another
tough.
Korean
That
film.
one's very tough. All right, Spencer.
My number 7, I'm doubling down because it was on my list last year, but I'm pretty confident that it will come out this year. Is Killers of the Flower Moon. Written and directed by Martin Scorsese, with Leonardo DiCaprio, Jesse Plemons, De Niro, John Lithgow, and I didn't realize this last year, but the Fraser songs is actually going to continue because Brendan Fraser is also in
It
the
sure
cast.
is.
Go.
Which is pretty exciting. And I don't know, it kind of sounds like it's like a dark, gritty kind of murder mystery puzzly film to me. I could be completely wrong, but that's what the description sounds like. And anytime Scorsese and Leo have been teamed up for that kind of stuff, it's always turned out great. I feel like they've established such a resume that anytime they team up, you kind of just got to be in the seat and see what they have in store for you. So I'm very excited about it, and I hope it actually does come out this year.
Yeah.
I don't see why it wouldn't.
I think it will. And I guess
It's better.
perfect
Man,
segue
I
that
didn't
is.
put it on my list. I completely forgot. I'm so excited for that though.
Yeah. The little blurb says members of the Osage tribe in the United States are murdered under mysterious circumstances in the 1920s, sparking
my
a
mom
major
read the book.
FBI
Loved
investigation.
it.
So it should be pretty cool.
I concur, as it is my number 6 on my list,
Ah.
and it was on my last year list as well. I think it was on all of our last year lists, I believe, right, Noah? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese, mystery crime movie. What more
Hell
has
yeah.
to be said? It's gonna be great.
Cool.
Okay, we can get back to him. Do you want to say your number 6, Kyle?
Yeah, sure. My number 6 is good old Barbie movie.
Oh, of
Coming out?
course.
Too
Gotta
low.
throw it-
Too
you might
low.
say. But, you might
No, I'm
say.
just kidding.
But yeah, I am excited. I love Greta Gerwig, even though like I love Lady Bird, but I think like there's people who adore this movie way more than me. Like it just hits them in the heart way more. I still love Lady Bird. Little Woman is also incredible, and I love her style. I love the characters she writes. She's so good, and I think she's gonna knock this one. I think she knocked it out of the park, even though it hasn't come out. I just think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be great. There's gonna be great commentary on it and in it, and yeah, what more can you say? It's Barbie.
Has a great recipe.
Ryan Gosling.
Killer cast.
Yeah, great cast too. And the trailer was a lot of fun. And I know that's nothing really with her, but
Oh yeah.
I didn't watch the trailer. I think I'll try to avoid it.
no, don't
Best I
avoid
can.
it. You got to. It's a good teaser, and it's a part of. I don't know.
It is. And
Trailers
Fitz,
like
I would
that-
argue.
Yeah.
I would argue that a lot of the stuff in the trailer is probably not actually going to be in the movie though. I think it was just made for the trailer
Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
because Greta Gerwig's
I
very
think-
smart.
And I always say, the good trailers become a part of the movie, as we look at it, like in the past. Like the Social Network trailer is one of the greatest trailers ever. And it totally complements
classic.
the movie well. Just saying. Trailers can be beneficial. if
No, you're
it's
spot on, man.
Not edited by a clown.
You're spot on.
So yeah, go Barbie.
Yeah. Very exciting. Very exciting. You there, Noah? Bah, he's not there. Okay, Spencer, number 6.
My number 6 is Luca Guadagnino's 2023 picture Challengers, which is actually a tennis movie
Yep.
starring Zendaya, Josh O'Connor, and this guy named Mike Faced, who's actually in West Side Story with Steven Spielberg. He was a big
probably
standout
the
for
best
me. I thought
character
he,
in West Side Story.
I thought he was great. I think that was like his kind of breakout role for sure. You know, and West Side Story was okay, but he really stood out for me. And it just follows like these 3 tennis players who grew up together, and they have to compete in a Grand Slam tournament. Kind of self-explanatory, but with Luca Guadagnino's style from Call Me by Your Name and Suspiria, and I just saw Bones and All on Saturday, which I brought up earlier. I think that story it's really gonna be elevated by Luca Guadagnino's style and the way that he sees the world through his lens and stuff. So it's gonna be good, and I think Zendaya needs to be challenged with a director like Luca Guadagnino, who is purely like an art film director. You know,
Yeah, I could see that. She
so
she
I
dabbled
don't know.
with.
I'm very excited about it.
Did you ever see Malcolm and Marie?
I haven't, but you know, it had the aesthetic of an art film, but it just seemed it was giving me all the vibes of like one of those movies that just when you watch it as like an actor, you're just watching like an acting exercise where it's just them
Ah,
kind of walking around a
I see
single
it.
space, screaming at each other. That was the vibe I was getting. So it looked cool. And I like both the actors. It just like I wasn't really enticed to really need to watch it, and I never got around to it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it
But I don't know.
either.
Hopefully I'm wrong. If somebody's seen it, you can correct me. But
Yeah.
excellent. But yeah, that was the vibe I was getting. So I think Luca Guadagnino would present a really good challenge for her because I think she is one of the few real movie stars that we have left. I would lump Tom Cruise in there too, obviously, but I think Zendaya is like one of the
Yeah.
main movie
Zendaya
stars
and
of
Tom
today.
Cruise, right?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. There you are. There you are.
Oh,
I missed
You're
you
hiding
guys.
from me.
Yeah,
Jeez.
no, you got to hit your number 6.
Yeah, what's your number?
Yeah,
six?
okay, my number 6. I just get back to it on my list here. It is my second and last pick from the Sundance Festival lineup. It is directed by first-time feature-length director Laurel Parme, and she's done a few short films, mainly revolving around childhood, and I think this could be a really touching film from the Sundance circuit and could make a big splash, possibly getting a big theatrical release. It is a film called The Starling Girl, and it is with a lot of younger actors and actresses. The star will be Eliza Scanlon. She was from The Devil All the Time, as well as Old. She also had a big appearance in the miniseries directed by Jean-Marc Vallée, Sharp Objects, from a few years ago. She was fantastic in that. Very young actress at the time.
Oh
And
yeah.
The Starling Girl will be it's a film about growing up in fundamentalist Christianity, and it takes place in the backwoods of Kentucky in a small tight-knit religious community, and it follows how the women involved in this sect of Christianity sort of they're forced into their role from the top down, and it follows their outlets through sexual promiscuity as well as artistic outlets. And the film is mainly going to revolve around Jem Starling, a young girl, and the relationship she confides in with a older person in the group, one of the youth pastors. And it seems like it is going to be a very touching story as well as a very dark story at the same time, kind of towing that line. I think this could be one of the better films out of the circuit, and one that I will definitely be following, hoping to see a big release in the future. Definitely interested in this one.
Yeah, another good choice. Yeah, I remember her from. She was the one sister in Little Women too, right?
Yes, she was.
Yeah. Very good choice. Very good choice. All right.
Yeah, very
so-
excited to see this one.
So we'll go back to my number 5, which number 6 was Killers of the Flower Moon. Number 5 is The Killer. And so The Killer, I don't know if you guys have it on your list. We'll wait and see. But David Fincher, and Michael
yes.
Michael
I forgot about
Fassbender.
this.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I remember this poster.
Yeah, I
Prop.
believe it's coming out this year. It should come out
That's
this
a good
year.
pick.
But we shall see. You know, just David Fincher directing a movie about a serial killer, and it's Michael Fassbender. That's all I need.
Redeem
And
himself for Mank.
it's like the log line here on Letterboxd is the most like brooding, like a brutal, bloody, and stylish noir story of a professional assassin in a world without a moral compass. But it's David Fincher at the same time, so you know. Yeah, pretty hype, pretty hype. I do love me some Fincher. I think he just has so many gems, and this one could be up there. I wasn't a big Mank guy, but everything else is pretty splendid. Alien 3 was enjoyable, but you know.
Who is a Mank guy, to be honest?
Yeah, no.
I'm not even a Mank guy.
Oh, you're not a
I'm
Mank
not
guy?
a Mank guy.
I thought you were a
If
Mank
No,
guy.
Noah's
I'm-
not a Mank guy, then nobody is.
I'm a very Mank is just kind of watchable. I watched it. I thought it was fine, but there really wasn't much. I'm never gonna watch it again.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
The
pick.
Killer, number 5. And then we'll go back to you, Noah.
Okay, yes. For my number 5.
Yes.
All right. My number 5 is it's a part of the next large sum of A24 future releases, and it is from a young director named Jane Schoenbrunn, who directed a fantastic indie film called We're All Going to the World's Fair. And I loved this movie when I watched it. I was looking for it for months, and it finally popped up, and I was finally able to watch it, and it was truly fantastic, and a exploration in experimental cinema using webcam, using alternate lighting, using the bowels of the internet to your disposal using the internet as a character. And We're All Going to the World's Fair was a fantastic directorial debut. And Jane Schoenbrunn will be following that up with a film called I Saw the TV Glow. And she's getting a bit of a budget, or they are getting a bit of a budget, and they will be working with a pretty solid cast featuring the likes of Justice Smith from Detective Pikachu and the Jurassic World movies, as well as Bridget Lundy Payne from films such as Bombshell and Downsizing, and Helena Howard from Madeline's Madeline, which I've also heard is fantastic. And a really solid cast, and it's a film about two teenagers sharing a bond over a horror television show. But while watching and the show mysteriously gets canceled, reality begins to bend. And what I like about Schoenbrunn is that they really toy with how young folk interact with media and interact with the internet. And I think this could be a fantastic piece of cinema here. And I'm very excited for what they have in store. And I'm glad that they're working with A24. I think this could be really, really great. Very excited for that.
Yeah, that was definitely not on my radar, but that's pretty hype. I've heard of We're All Going to the World's Fair, so I should check
Highly,
that out.
highly recommend We're All Going to the World's Fair. Fantastic film.
This seems pretty awesome, so I am now hyped for it as well. All right. Number 5 for Kyle.
My number 5. Had to put it. You had to put these two back to back. Oppenheimer. They're both coming. Barbie and Oppenheimer are coming out the same day. So,
Oh, right, yeah.
Hype.
what more?
Hype train.
Which is pretty hyped. And I won't go too long. I think everyone's pretty hyped for Oppenheimer. But yeah, it's just cool to see. He's the Merchant of Death, and we don't have a lot in film history about him, and he's a very important historical figure. So I'm happy a mainstream movie's coming out talking about him, and yeah, the practical effects are going to be amazing, and yeah, just ready for it.
Oh, yes. It's going to be great.
It's gonna be beautiful.
And then I was going to put Avatar 3, but it got delayed till 2024. So
Yeah, it's getting the Star Wars treatment every other year, so
That's
Yeah.
smart decision.
Quick side note: do you know what the third one's called?
Is there a name?
Avatar 3? Yeah, there's a name.
What is it?
The Seed Bearer.
Okay.
Apparently, there's gonna be like fire avatars.
So they're just literally ripping off Last Airbender. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
Let's get
We got
rid of
forest,
fire,
water.
wind.
Can't wait for the fire avatars. Yeah.
Great.
But hey, that's our 2024 list, not our 2023 list.
Yeah, sorry, jump the gun.
Come on, come on, come on.
Oppenheimer.
All right. Number 5, Spencer.
My number 5 is Asteroid City,
Yes.
and we'd already talked about it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. I agree with you, Josh. I think it has all the makings of a nice kind of like Rushmore themed or Rushmore style West film. Dare I say, Asteroid City, even the title and the idea of going to like an asteroid space camp or like space cadet thing, has all the sounds of it being the most Wes Anderson-y Wes Anderson film that ever Wes Anderson. You know,
Yep.
so there's not much more to say. You got your Schwartzman, you got your Swinton, you got some newcomers like Margot Robbie, Tom Hanks. Give me a
Steve
good time.
Carell too.
Yeah. What more could you want?
Yeah.
Matt Dillon and Sophia Lillis are in it. That's pretty
Oh
fun.
yes.
Oh,
So many
Hell
names.
yeah.
So many faces.
So, and also remind me at the end because there was an honorable mention that I forgot, but I think it's an important one that none of us have brought up that I think would resonate with a lot of us.
All right. We can bring that up at the end. All right. So we'll move on to my number 4, which was my number 1 of last year,
Ooh.
which was Next Goal Wins.
Mm,
So who knows
That's
if it'll
right.
actually come out this year? It was probably my number 1 most anticipated for the last 3 years. But because Taika is busy with his Marvel movies, he has not released it. But
So well.
I mean, it seems like it's very Ted Lasso, Taika Waititi, New Zealand story of a really, really horrible New Zealand soccer team. And I believe it's Michael Fassbender who comes in and is the Ted Lasso of the group. And hey, Taika Waititi is at his best when he's doing his indie projects. I mean, a couple of my favorite movies ever are Boy and What We Do in the Shadows. And so if he's coming up with something that's indie, set back in New Zealand, sky's the limit for that. So I'm always excited for it. But again, it has been pushed the last like 3 years. So hopefully it comes out. But yeah, that's my number 4 this year. So I'm kind of, making my expectations a little less high.
that's a good pick. That one almost made my list.
that's not mine either.
But yeah, it says 2023 here on Letterboxd. So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll pray.
All right. Noah, number 4.
Now to return to the historical epic for a second, I would like to turn our attention to Napoleon by Ridley Scott.
Oh, yes.
Oh, nice. I knew this one was
And-
going to be on your list. I knew it.
It's hard not to put it on my list because I haven't watched Abel Granz's Napoleon from the 20s. I haven't seen the full thing, but I've seen some of the set pieces and some of the large scale sequences that were used. And I would love to see that film just fully be adapted. And it's very long. It's hours and hours long. It's essentially a series. But even if it was just a full epic of Napoleon's life and his story and the French Empire, I think that would just be fantastic. And Napoleon will be played none other than by Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, yes.
And I could not see anybody else taking this role and running with it as well as he could. And Ridley Scott hasn't dabbled in historical epic in a hot minute. He's a fantastic director, but he loves to toy with the past, the future, and the present pretty much at a whim. And while I wasn't a big fan of House of Gucci, I did quite enjoy The Last Duel.
Me as well.
And seeing some of the set pieces that I saw in The Last Duel, some of the action sequences, from what he got out of the actors, I think he could do that even more so, even better extent in a full-length 3-hour Napoleon epic. And with Joaquin Phoenix and Vanessa Kirby at the helm, I think this could be fantastic and a definite cornerstone of his career if it works out well. So very excited for Napoleon.
Yeah, great choice. Great choice. All right, Kyle, 4.
My number 4 is Beau is Afraid, formerly known as Disappointment Boulevard. Yeah, it's Ari Aster. What more can you say? Midsommar's like, I like Midsummer more than Hereditary. I thought, I don't know, I just love everything about it. Love how the relationship's portrayed, and yeah, I'm ready to just cringe in a theater and cry it because this guy just loves to make tragic events horror, and yeah, this one's gonna be great. I love that Michael Gandolfini's getting a lot of roles now.
Yeah.
Happy for him, and yeah, this is gonna be, yeah, nothing else
Alrighty.
to say. Beau is Afraid.
Very nice. All right, Spencer, number 4.
My number 4 is Across the Spider-Verse. First one might be, it's definitely tied as the best Spider-Man movie for me.
Oh yeah.
You can make an argument that it is the best definitive Spider-Man movie, but it is pretty fantastic. And I'm expecting more of the things that I loved in the second one. And I'm actually, like, growing up when I was a Spider-Man fan as a kid, one of the Spider-Men that actually always intrigued me was Spider-Man 2099. He was always the most fun to play in a lot of the video games that they were releasing at the time, back in like 2011, like Spider-Man Edge of Time and Shattered Dimensions and all that stuff on the PS3. Spider-Man 2099 was a sick character, and I think Oscar Isaac playing him is like such brilliant casting. So I'm excited to see what they got with this movie. Like, I think it's probably going to be somewhere on at least somebody else's list on here. I think one of you guys put it on here too. But Oscar Isaac's going to be great, and I'm also excited to see Jason Schwartzman as the Spot, which is going to be kind of funny, the villain. That'll be an interesting turn. I don't think he's played a villain since Scott Pilgrim, so it should be pretty fun.
That's great.
And I'm interested to see now that they I don't know if you guys remember, but they announced the movie and they released the trailer, and it was a big deal that at the end of the trailer they announced that it was part 1 of 2,
Yeah.
which is pretty
they said
intriguing.
it's
So
one.
I'm hoping that like it's still a full, satisfying story that can stand on its own, and that we're not left with just kind of like an unsatisfying cliffhanger at the end. So
Yeah.
that's all I'm afraid of.
Great choice, and it is in fact my number 3. So yeah, I mean, I think that Into the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie, in my opinion. It mixes perfectly superhero, comic book, very heartfelt. The animation is just like, some of the best animation
Beautiful.
of all time. And I think what you're saying about that, it's a part 1, so they know they're making a part 2, unlike the Dune scenario. So, you know, maybe there could be some more cohesion there with that story.
Yeah.
But yeah, extremely hyped for it. I love the first one. I've seen it, I think, at least 4 times. So yeah, very, very excited for Across the Spider-Verse. And Noah, number 3.
Next one for me will be another one that was in my top 3. I believe it's in the same position as it was last year. Killers of the Flower Moon by Martin
Yes.
Scorsese. Pretty much everything can be said about this movie, as was in the past. I've heard the source material is absolutely fantastic. I'm glad that Martin Scorsese is touching on a different era than he usually does, at least in recent years. Usually he's touching on mid 20th century, but now he's touching on early 20th century in more of a Western setting. I think this could be really cool. I like seeing him and Leo team up again. I like seeing Jesse Plemons back in a starring role, or at least in a secondary lead role. I like the rest of the cast. I'm just very excited for it, and I hope it comes out soon. And while I'm not as excited that it's a Netflix film, my hope is that it will get a small theater run or
It should.
good home video releases like The Irishman did. So I'm very excited for this one. Can't wait. Wish it came out for Oscar season last year, or for this year, but it's going to be great nonetheless, no matter when it comes out. So
Yeah.
big
It is a
ups to
May
Marty for this
2023
one.
release date right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
Hopefully it's not like 4 hours long though.
Oh, hopefully it is 4 hours long.
I'll take a 4
I will say
hour.
the Irishman grows on me every time I watch it. I love
Yeah.
it.
I love that movie.
There's certain
It's so
directors who can get away with the length of their movies. So we all know Avatar. The Avatar is just gonna go up with the length of the movie.
Oh god.
So
good. You have to earn 3 hour
You gotta
3 hour
Exactly.
talkies.
It's true.
alrighty, Kyle, number 3.
Yeah, my number 3. I should mention, kind of, Killers of the Flower Moon just totally escaped my mind. I probably would have put it in my list, probably in the top 5, but
Totally.
I didn't. But so my number 3 is another remake, Evil Dead Rise 3.
Ooh,
Kind of
I
got
like that.
more hyped for it just because saw the trailer, loved the look of it, looks awesome, and the fact that Raimi and Bruce Campbell are going to be producing it kind of shows me that they're not going to, there's going to be a lot of passion put into it because, like with how highly Raimi and Bruce Campbell still talk about the original films and how true they hold it to their heart, I don't think they'll let this one slide and just let it be a mediocre cash grab. So, yeah, I got a lot of hype for this. Think it's gonna be great. Hoping a Bruce Campbell cameos in there. Probably will be. And yeah, just don't really know what's gonna happen. Yeah, see what they do with it. But yeah,
Yes, sir.
Dead
Scary
Rise.
as fuck.
Very excited for it. Should be a
Yeah.
banger.
And I don't think I love the first Evil Dead as much as you guys do, Spence and Noah. But I still like really enjoy it, and like Spencer said, the visuals on it and the creatures are just fucking terrifying. But it's more just because I love the original too so much.
Yeah.
I always I love the Evil Dead trilogy, and especially the second and Army of Darkness for
Yeah, Army of Darkness is great.
how it blended horror comedy so well.
Mhm.
And you got to be nervous when they want to strip away the horror comedy aspect of Evil Dead and return to what the first Evil Dead film was, which was just low budget horror, but putting a budget behind it instead of just being low budget. And I think 2013 Evil Dead just did exactly what it should have done, which is if they're going to leave the comedy aside and just go to horror, just make it disgusting and just make it balls to the wall and make
Yeah.
it just absolutely grimy and gross. And that's what they did. And they really fed into what they would have done with Evil Dead 1 if they had more of a budget behind it and the technology behind it that they have now.
And they're also what I like about this one too. They're not using any A-list actors to just try to get people in the seats. It's a bunch of people
Yeah.
who I haven't heard of. I'm pretty sure one of the actors in it is actually like transgender too, so it's good to
Oh.
get more diversity in who they pick. Like, you don't always need to have an A-list star to sell it.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna do really well too. And yeah, hype for it.
Very good.
Completely
All right,
agree.
Spencer, number 3.
You knew it was coming as the resident Ryan Gosling fanboy.
Yeah.
Barbie had to be on this list.
No doubt.
Barbie's
about
number
it.
3. But let me just read you some of these names. We got Margot Robbie. We got Ryan Gosling, the Lord and Savior. We got Michael Cera. We got Will Ferrell. We got Simu Liu. We got the entire cast of Sex Education. We got Ryan Gosling cosplaying as Johnny Lawrence from The Karate Kid. What more could you want? We got Greta Gerwig writing and directing it with her husband Noah Baumbach. Enough said.
That's all that needs to be said.
That's all
Enough
that needs
said.
to be said. I'm seeing
Right there.
Barbie in the afternoon on the 21st. And then I will be seeing another movie that will be mentioned and that has already been mentioned in the evening.
Yep. It's gonna be the definitive cinema day of 2023.
Cinema will be saved on July 21st.
by Barbie and the Merchant of Death.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people are probably gonna double feature that, and it's just the funniest.
Yeah, I think you
crossover
have
of
to.
movies.
I'll do it.
Hey,
All right.
Kyle,
You know, have
remember
my fringe shirt on during the day, and I'll have my fedora on for the night.
Hey Kyle, remember that scene in the Big Bang Theory when Sheldon names that cat Dr. Robert Oppenheimer?
Oh yeah,
It's a good moment.
great show.
Great show.
Yeah.
Great show.
Oh yeah, Big Bang Theory movie. Really
Oh,
excited for
when's
that.
it happening?
Oh.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Apparently it's gonna be a musical. Good to hear. Coming of age film.
Wow.
Yeah, very excited.
it's actually opening up the Chuck Lorre universe with the Two Broke Girls movie and the 2.5 Men trilogy. It's very exciting.
It's also
Yeah.
opening up the multiverse because young Sheldon and Sheldon are gonna hug, and then it's gonna open up. The multiverse. And, then
And
it's gonna be
Jim
animated,
Parsons
and
was-
it's a crossover with Across the Spider-Verse. It's just really
Jim Parsons was in that one song in the Muppet movie. It's going to be a Muppet crossover as well.
Oh my. You got everything.
Man or a Muppet.
Oh, love that song. Oscar nominated, I believe.
No way.
It was either Oscar, like Golden Globe or something. All right. Number 2, for me, it's Oppenheimer. Of course. We've already mentioned it. Merchant of Death, Christopher Nolan. Love the guy. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Period. All right, Noah.
You're right.
My number 2?
Yes.
My number 2 is featuring a director that we have not seen anything from since 2015. It's been a long time coming for just a legend of the scene, a legend of cinema. I'm talking about Michael Mann, baby, and I'm talking
yeah.
about Ferrari. And
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good
I'm
pick.
talking about
Great
Ferrari.
choice.
And this film, I think, is going to be just an absolutely classic biopic. You've got Adam Driver playing Enzo Ferrari, featuring Penelope Cruz as Laura Ferrari, and you've also got a few other legends in there, such as Jack O'Connell, Patrick Dempsey, and Shailene Woodley. And this is going to be just a fantastic film depicting a historically legendary figure, focusing in on one of the most crisis-driving moments of Enzo Ferrari's life during the bankruptcy scandal and tempers flaring during the summer of 1957. And I could not be more excited to see what Michael Mann has in store for this. Some of my favorite films of all time come from Michael Mann. Films such as Heat and The
That's directed by
Insider.
Michael Bay, man.
Of course. Michael Bay, classic Heat. The Insider and Thief.
Oh, I love
Collateral.
Thief so much, yeah.
Collateral.
Fantastic films, fantastic director. Could not be more excited for this one. I think this could be Adam Driver's real punch into A-list status.
Oh, he's A-list.
And
he's A-list.
he is, but this is A-list drama. Where he wanted House of Gucci to take him.
Yeah,
I think
was
this
gonna
will
say.
take him there. This will take him there.
Yeah, great choice.
Very, very excited for this one.
Love Michael Mann.
He wants that Oscar, man. He wants it.
Alrighty. Kyle, number 2.
My number 2 is Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, Spence pretty much said it all. Trailer looks awesome. Love the animation as usual, and just I don't know if I want to disrespect my boy Tobey Maguire and say the first one's the best Spider-Man movie. I got love for the Sam Raimi ones. They're very
Me too,
nostalgic to me. So
Yeah,
I just can't
Of course.
say it's definitively the best one, but it is amazing. And this one's, it's just gonna open up more. The fact that it's 2 parts makes me even more excited because, it's Across the Spider-Verse. There's so many different Spider-Mans they can explore, and it's just like possibilities are endless. And I know they're gonna take advantage and be really creative with it. So, Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. course. Gonna be great. All right, Spencer.
My number 2 is, of course, Oppenheimer.
There we go.
You knew it was coming.
Of course.
I don't. There's not really much else to say about it. Other than that, for me personally, like, I think Cillian Murphy might be one of the most underrated actors working right now.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Like, but he gets no love. But anyone that does watch what he's in, like, everyone loves him. You know. So I think he needed like a big mainstream movie like this for everybody to realize his greatness. And I'm also a sucker for performances that kind of look very like stoic, and they have like a lot of inner turmoil, and there's a lot going on under the surface, but they have to stay calm. It's very riveting for me as an actor. I get very excited about that kind of stuff, you know. And it just looks like a lot of Cillian Murphy walking around smoking a cigarette, very bug-eyed and kind of anxious, and blowing some stuff up with Christopher Nolan and Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Hans Zimmer, I don't think did this one, did he?
I'm not sure, actually. Not sure
He
myself.
better have. Maybe it was Tenet that he didn't do, because I think he did Dune during Tenet.
Mm.
Let me see. Hans Zimmer,
Let's see.
Oppenheimer
Crew
score.
for Oppenheimer. Composer
No, they
is
won't be
Ludwig
reuniting for Oppenheimer.
Göransson.
Oh, Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah, he's
is
great. He's great.
So
He did
that's
Tenet
good.
as well.
He
He did
Mandalorian,
Black
too.
Panther.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Ludwig
Mandalorian
Göransson
soundtrack
is going to
great.
be like the future Hans Zimmer. He's already building a very
Oh yeah.
solid catalog. So, but I don't know. Like, the score of Christopher Nolan movies are always very integral to the film, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's gonna be great if he just doesn't try and like overcomplicate his script. He's gonna knock it out of the park.
Do you say that because you think Tenet is overcomplicated?
Yeah,
A
I
little
love
bit.
Tenet, but I still don't really know what it's about. You know, so. I mean, it came
I
out in
love
2020 or whatever.
I have nothing to drag.
Tenet's
on
great.
Tenet. I love Tenet.
Robbie P was great. John David
Yes.
Washington was excellent. He's a great leading man in that film.
Alrighty. On to number 1, and I don't think this is a surprise for me. That Dune Part 2 is my number 1. I mean, I'm a big sci-fi guy. I knew nothing about Dune at all when the first one came out, and it was just having not known nothing about the book even. It was just great to go into a fresh sci-fi universe that was so deep. It was beautifully shot. Denis Villeneuve is great. All the performances were wonderful, and man, it's just the kind of movie that I eat up. So yeah, I'm beyond excited for number 2. And everybody says that number 1 was like a cliffhanger, but like Zendaya says, it was only the beginning. So here we go. Number 2. Very hype, very hype.
Or number
I respect that.
But yeah, not surprising for me. All right, no, number 1.
What could my number 1 be, Josh? What could it be?
What could it be?
It is a holdover from my list last year. It was my number 2 last year behind The Northman. This year it has ascended to my number 1 position. It is The Way of the Wind by Terrence Malick. And Terrence Malick is my favorite
Way of the
director.
Water.
Yeah, he's ripping off Avatar.
My-
here.
Terrence Malick is probably my favorite director working today. He's up there with Paul Thomas Anderson and a few others, Martin Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino. But The Way of the Wind, it's been rumored for I think 2 years now. This is like probably the best chance that we have to see it this year. I'm hoping he's starting to get up there in age, but it will be an anthology film depicting various scenes from the Bible as well as the life of Jesus Christ. It seems very otherworldly as well. It seems like we're going to get a lot of poetic sequences in the film, as per usual with the likes of Terrence Malick. Some of the most recent films that we've seen from him, such as Song to Song and A Hidden Life, feature large swaths of poetic cinema throughout the runtimes, and I think The Way of the Wind will be just like that. I couldn't be more excited for it. I'm hoping it comes out this year. I like seeing some bigger names in the cast on the back end. Got people like Joseph Fiennes and Mark Rylance feature. Very, very excited for that. Yeah, there isn't much else to say. Terrence Malick, whenever he puts out a movie, I will be there to see it. Can't
yeah.
can't wait. Can't wait.
It's gonna be great. It should come out this year. That's from what I was reading, so
Good.
we can hope. Alrighty, yeah. Way of the Wind, no surprise there. All right, Kyle. Number 1.
My number 1. Popping in with you, Josh.
Yeah.
Part 2. My number 1. Like you said, I went
Ooh.
in knowing little to nothing about the story, and while it is complicated, and I think I do, there's so much information to take in, but yeah, I'm just excited for part 2. I think it's so unique to see a sci-fi movie where artificial intelligence is just outlawed and they don't have it, and it's just all and that's just something that's perfect for Denis. That's why he's the only one who could do it, because like the sets and the effects and everything, they put so much effort into it. Pretty sure it had less of a budget than Thor Love Thunder for some reason, but so they put so much into the practical effects, setting up the world. It looks beautiful. All the actors are amazing in it, and couldn't be more excited. More excited for this than I was for part 1. So
Yes.
let's go,
Oh,
baby.
can't wait. Can't wait.
Cannot wait.
All right. Lastly, Mr. Spencer, what do you got for us?
My number 1 is actually Beau is Afraid,
Beau
Oh,
is
yeah.
Afraid.
formerly
Nice.
Disappointment Boulevard. But you know what? Like, Hereditary came out in what, 2018?
Yes.
I think
The
2017.
Midsummer came out in 2019.
Yep.
That was the first time I had seen an Ari Aster film in 2018, and like I didn't realize that I would ever have to go 4 years without seeing an Ari Aster film, and it's just been way too long. You know, this pairing is like a match made in heaven. I wanted another kind of horror-y film from Ari Aster, but I'm excited that he's going to try something new, and I think Joaquin Phoenix is the perfect actor to do this with. They're going to challenge each other, and they're going to bring the best out of each other. And I like the fact that I know nothing about it other than that it's going to be like a really zany Ari Aster film with a decade spanning Joaquin Phoenix performance. That's all you need to do to sell me. I think it's going to be one of the most creative films of the year. I think Joaquin Phoenix is easily, it's either this or Napoleon or both of them. He's going to have one of the, maybe not the best performance, but it's definitely going to be mentioned in the top 5 for one of these films. I'd be willing to bet it's this one. So I don't know. It just has everything going for it. I agree with what you said too, Fitz. Michael Gandolfini. Like, I'm happy that this dude's getting some work too, because I think he has a lot of potential, and like his dad was an amazing actor. So go nepotism babies. I think it's going to be a great film. Like, Ari has shown me nothing to suggest that he's not going to knock it out of the park. So
Yeah. All right. There we have it. I think the biggest crossovers we had here, you 3 had Beau is Afraid. Everybody except for Kyle had Killers of the Flower Moon, but you said you would have added it there. Everyone except for Noah had Dune Part 2 and Oppenheimer. And then Noah, you just have your own list pretty much, but hey.
Hey, no one had Expendables 4. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. We're kind of slacking in that regard, but yeah, there were so many that I almost put on as well. I mean, Noah, you had Infinity Pool in your list last year, which is
It was a late cut.
yeah. So
that'll be
yeah,
a good
I mean,
one.
it's gonna be hype. I do love Possessor. Possessor was awesome.
I love Possessor.
Yeah, there's apparently an untitled Ethan Coen movie coming out, which is always exciting.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if there's any Snyder heads, but Rebel Moon is coming out this year.
No thanks.
Oh, I'll watch that.
Yeah,
All the
exactly.
set
I'll watch
photos
it.
look pretty cool.
If he hits, it could be pretty awesome.
Is that Coen Brothers written Scarface movie coming out this year?
I have no clue.
Oh,
I
yeah.
all I saw was just untitled, unnamed Coen brother or Ethan Coen
If you
movie.
go on Letterboxd, the Scarface poster has Tilda Swinton on the poster playing Scarface.
Really?
It's a joke, but it's Band-Aid.
What? Isn't Michael B. Jordan playing him?
Oh, is it?
I think
That'll
so.
That would be.
Oh, maybe
awesome.
not. No, I think it's Diego Luna.
Oh, that's really good too.
That's good casting. I like
Yeah, and
that.
I think isn't it Luca directing it?
Oh yeah, that's what it says on this letterbox one, but Tilda Swinton. Swinton
Pretty good.
Scarface. That's what it says.
Yeah, I know. That poster's so good. Also excited for Moneyball 2.
Moneyball. But yeah, I also didn't put Koreeda's next film, Monster. I do. Love
I don't
me
know a
some-
whole lot about that one. I was
Yeah.
thinking about it, but yeah, we don't know much about it.
Yeah, but hey, could be fun. What else did I have on here? Oh, Megaopolis is Francis Ford Coppola,
Yes.
so that could be
That
there.
was a late disad from me.
And one other one that you had on your list last year, Suzume, Noah.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna come out this past year.
I think
that
it
was
did
an
come
honorable
out in
men-
Japan last year.
Yeah,
but,
it was an honorable mention for me last year.
Oh, it was honorable mention. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I hadn't really heard much about it, so I wasn't sure if it had made a splash yet.
Yeah, I was about to put that on my list as well. It was up there, but
Yeah.
should be a good year. And I see we have no Marvel movies here. Absolutely no
Or an
Marvel
honorable
except for
mention,
Spider-Verse.
Quantumania.
Except for the honorable mention, yeah.
Oh,
Good for
oh, yeah,
us.
But guys, the Meg 2, come on.
The Meg too. And who had that one more honorable mention you want to say?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to ask you guys if you guys have heard of the film Flora and Son.
Oh yeah. I definitely have.
I want to give that one an honorable mention because
The new John
I didn't-
Carney, yeah.
Yeah, it's his first movie since Sing Street, I'm pretty sure, and it's
Oh,
another
really?
Irish musical movie.
Got
So,
Joseph
I don't know.
Gordon-Levitt
It was only on my radar maybe about a month ago, so I'm pretty excited about that one, but I don't really know enough about it to put it in my top 10, I think. And I'm not the biggest Joseph Gordon-Levitt guy, you know. So, other
You
than
don't like
you know,
his
the
role
Night
as the
Before.
Uber CEO?
No, he's great. He's great in The Night Before.
The Uber CEO. Guys, go watch the Bezos trailer. I'm telling you,
Bezos.
it's the best trailer you'll ever see.
Yeah. Can't
You wanna-
wait.
wanna
I'm
leave
trying to
your
think if there's
pension
anything
to
else that I
sell
wanted,
books.
but
A late cut from me was this film called Necrocosm by Panos Cosmatos, the director of Mandy.
You could have
yes, director
Mm.
Mandy. Yeah.
I loved Mandy, and I haven't seen his other feature, but Mandy was fantastic. I love that one. Very rewatchable Nicolas Cage performance in there, and
I really do wanna watch it,
Necrocosm seems to be taking an even more kind of otherworldly science fiction approach to his already extremely out there, just absolutely like psychosomatic experience in cinema that he has. So I'm very excited for it.
Yeah.
Notice how no one had Cocaine Bear?
Oof. Just slipped the mind. Slipped the mind, really.
It slipped my mind too.
Or The Nun 2?
None.
Well, I'll be there day one for The Nun too, for sure.
I don't know if you knew Noah, but I know you're a big fan of You Were Never Really Here.
Yes,
That
I
director
am
has
a big
film
fan
called
of that.
Stone Mattress.
Ooh, I was not aware.
So
was
I
not
believe
aware.
it's a 2023 release, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know.
that was on my radar. as
I
well.
do like Lynn Ramsey quite a bit.
Yeah, she's very
So
cool.
that's very, very cool.
And then I think the last one I'll mention is there's a Chinese movie called The Wandering Earth, which is the craziest sci-fi movie about the Earth having like thrusters, and it's like trying to find a new sun, and they're making a sequel called The Wandering Earth 2, and yeah, it's insane, stupid action, but I love the first one, so that's exciting as well. But yeah, should be a good year.